We are joined now in the studio with Associate Professor Sarah O'Shea. Can you tell us a little bit about the program that you're running?
Yeah, I sure can, Kate. I'm running a little research project with University of New South Wales and University of Newcastle. And what we're doing is we're recruiting students that come from regional remote areas and asking them if they'd like to make a digital story about their experiences of moving from their region or community into university.
And what do you think are the benefits of this particular medium of, storytelling as a mode of engaging with students?
Yeah, we're really excited by this. As far as we know, this is probably the first time the digital story narrative has been used with this particular cohort of students. It's quite commonly used in education for various purposes. So a digital story is basically 2 to 3 minutes long, and it's self-narrated with images, about 15 to 20 images. And the idea is that you express something that's probably quite deeply personal in a very short time frame. So it sort of captures the essence of what you're feeling about a certain situation. And so with the digital story medium, the reason we chose it is because we really want to highlight what it is that regional remote students feel when they move from their communities where they've grown up and have to make that quite a distant move in many cases to university.
Have you noticed any common trends with what you've collected so far?
Look, we're right at the beginning of data collection, but there are some common trends around this in the research. So regional and remote students are probably one of the cohorts of students that are most likely to drop out of university. And they often talk about the fact that moving from their community is a huge transition because they have to come to university, they have to almost recreate themselves. And I suppose that's what we're trying to capture in a way through a really exciting visual medium.
So how do you think in the long term the students will benefit from your research?
Well, we're really hoping that what we'll be able to do is really highlight what it's like from an individual perspective. So we know what the research says. We know that, students often feel quite disengaged, lonely, isolated, but it's that really personal visual medium that we're after. And hey, we want to show these digital stories to people. We might show them to people in policy or, other academics or vice chancellors. And then they'll get a greater understanding of what this movement is like from the student's perspective.
Well, it sounds like a really transformative tool. How can people get involved with this particular study?
Yeah, Brad, we're recruiting at the moment. So if anyone is interested in getting involved, they can pop me an email. My email is sarah@uow.edu.au and just say, hey, I'm interested in participating. And we'd love to then follow up. And as an added bonus, and a thank you for time involved in making the digital story, we do have a little incentive of $150 Coles Myer voucher, which can be used for a range of things.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank
It's been
you.
lovely to speak with you.
Thank you so much for having me.